A week after a homecoming victory that bumped them to third in the SIAC, the Albany State Golden Rams were back in action at the Colusium Saturday, hosting conference opponent Edward Waters. Now it's senior night for the Golden Rams, and this one not off to the start they were hoping for. After a turnover on the opening drive, next possession, Isaiah Niles is taken down in the backfield, scoop and score. Edward Waters up 14-0. Knowles making up for his mistake, however. He sees the opening lane, takes it, finds pay dirt, making it 1-point game. Comeback is on the menu now with Jalen Glaze serving up a glazed donut, hot and ready with the spin move, setting up ASU for the score. It's Glaze again, making his way into the end zone. 2-point conversion. It is good. Game tied now at 21. To Glaze, the icing on the cake. Glaze does it again, cutting it across the field, powering his way in for 6 more. Albany State back on top. Out of the half, the Dirty Blue defense emerges. Abe Clinkinscales on the sack. Big stop. They are forcing the Tigers to punt. On the return, Cam Watts turns on the Jets, weaving his way through the defense. Nobody can bring him down. 65 yards to the house. Rams extend the lead to 10. Too much time, however, the defense makes a move, bringing up another big stop for the Dirty Blue. The Rams get it done at home, completing the comeback 42-34 with 400 yards off total defense offense to improve 5-1 in the SIAC.
We got some things we got to fix from a defensive standpoint. All right, too many substitution issues and things like that. So we got some stuff we got to correct. But I do like the way that we were able to buckle down and not allow them to do what they want to do in the second half. We thought we took their best punch in the first half, and we went and made some adjustments in the second half. The coaches made some adjustments, and the guys made the plays that were there for them to make. So I'm proud of those guys for definitely making the adjustments and playing football in the second half that we know how to play.
Joining us now is our very own Morgan Jackson, who's out on the Coliseum. Morgan, from a mental standpoint, how was Albany State able to get from behind to win this game?
Going down 14-0 is not a position that Albany State is unfamiliar with. A few weeks ago at Miles, they went down 2 scores. That's not a position they're happy with, that they want to be in again. But they were able to get the comeback tonight, and I really feel like it came down to just playing together as a team. Multiple times this year, I've talked to Coach Gray, and he said that at the beginning of the season, they had a lot of egos, they had a lot of personalities, but those have gone out the door, and it showed tonight. They were able to rally together, and that's ultimately how they got this comeback victory.
Morgan, I mean, you know who the top players are. Who really stood out to you in this game?
Tonight, it was Jalen Glaze. I've talked to Coach multiple times this season about the depth on this team. They have a lot of depth this year at multiple positions, and one of those positions is at the wide receiver position. At the beginning of the season, it was Devin Dorsey who emerged as the veteran leader. Last week, it was Javian Jackson who scored 4 touchdowns. Tonight, it was Jalen Glaze. I haven't seen much of him this season, but he was able to come out here tonight, and I asked Coach about him after the game, just about having guys who can step up at any given moment, and he says that's something they preach at practice, being ready when your number is called. He said football is a violent sport. You never know whose name is going to be called, so he tries to make sure that each player is ready so that when their name is called, they can come out here tonight and do what Glaze was able to do.
Yeah, glazing across the field left and right. That was a lot of glazes I had to read in that script. I hear you on that. What a game for him. But what does this mean now for Albany State's hopes of making it back to conference championships? How are they looking now?
Albany State is still on pace to make it there. Last season, there were a lot of scenarios that had to happen. Last I spoke with Coach Gray, he said they just have to win out. So next week, they'll be at Savannah State, an away game for a 3 p.m. kickoff. We'll keep you updated, obviously, on WAOB for the score of that game. And then the following week, they'll be back at Columbus for the Fountain City Classic, the 34th annual. WAOB will obviously be in the building. And yeah, that's all I have from the Coliseum for right now.
Morgan, always great to see you. Stay hydrated out there. I know it's a hot day. Thank you for your great reporting.